So we started by playing comedy videos on the TVs, but when we said, "Hey, we'd like to get paid for doing this. It's pretty expensive to jack into a cable system." And they said, "You are a comedian. You're hilarious. Money from us. Ha!" And they said, "Look, you need data. You need research to show this works." And so for the last 10 years, that's what we've been doing is a study at the USC Institute for Genetic Medicine where 60 minutes of comedy made the healthcare providers 96% less stressed. Chapman University, healthcare providers 13% less stressed in just 3 minutes, as
Wow.
just two examples. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. And so you finally have the data, and now is the goal then that more healthcare providers are going to be picking this up and going, hey, we need to use this service in our hospitals.
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, we also did a study at USC Norris Cancer Center where over 90% of the patients said that we lowered their pain and their stress. And these are patients in the oncology ward, right?
Wow.
And that's where we're working now at the Oncology Institute of Hope and Innovation, where I get to put on a lab coat 3 days a week and directly interface with the patients to give them the app on their phone so they can watch the funny videos and measure, do a scientific measurement of their pain and stress levels.
One thing I'm wondering is why have the app, the LaughMD app, on the patient's phone and not just have the patient like, hey, go to YouTube and find some funny videos? Because you were mentioning, hey, you've got like 40,000 videos on there, but why have the app?
That's a really smart question. The difference between, let's say, what we do, where we are out to improve your health. If you are healthier, if your blood pressure is lowered, which we've shown, if your pain levels go down, which we've shown, then that's the win for us.
Yeah.
TikTok doesn't care about your pleasure or your blood pressure or anything like that. Facebook, their goal is to steal as much of your data as possible, to take as much of your time as possible, and to sell you as much stuff as possible, right?
Right.
Is that good for your health, Paul?
It's not good for my health. And I was also picturing like if you tell people, okay, just go find some funny videos on YouTube or something, and then they're getting ads in between. It's like, political season or something, and so you're like, oh, this was a great video, haha. And then it's like, Frank Chindamo doesn't want you to be happy, don't
Right.
vote for him, whatever. It's like, oh, now it's a buzzkill. Now I'm super stressed out. So yeah, I could see why it's like, look, we've got this carefully curated collection that
Right.
is of all this comedy. And from the last time I saw it, it was all different styles and types of comedy too. So that, like, if I want my old lady falling down a well video, great, but that may not make the next patient very happy.
Exactly. Exactly. The current incarnation of the app, which is a beta, which is only available through healthcare facilities right now, is one where we've got stand up, we've got falls and stunts and fails, we've got funny babies, funny animals, old sitcoms from Seinfeld to Abbott Elementary, pretty much everything on there. Every possible form of comedy that was curated and carefully selected so that it's positively based and not
Yeah.
negatively based to incur positive hormones.
You've been listening to Laugh or Death with Paul Ozencup. If you're planning a conference or event and want something smart, meaningful, and actually funny, book Paul to speak. To learn more or to get a copy of his book, The Humor Habit, visit laughordeath.com.